Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Heart to Heart with Hads. Thank you for tuning in today. I just want to express my gratitude. First of all, I think that I have become very, very consumed with a lot of things that I've been doing and not really appreciating where I am and the people that support me and surround me. So, I just wanted to start off this episode by expressing my gratitude for everyone in my life that has a purpose in it, my friends, my family, my mentors, coaches, whatever it may be. Very appreciative. And I also just want to appreciate myself and where I'm at in my journey right now because it's been a whirlwind for sure of life changing in these past couple of months, but I think I need to truly appreciate that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I don't need to rush any timeline that I have, but I need to continue to show up and work hard, just keep working harder, and know that I can do these hard things. So I'm just taking a little moment to show myself some praise and gratitude. Think it's very beneficial for me right now just to keep taking a step forward. So, if you've been feeling a little just, shaken up and a little bit overwhelmed, take a step back and really focus on all of the things that you're grateful for. And I'm just going to name 10 to name a few because why not name things you're grateful for? They just make you feel so much better about yourself and how far you came and where you're about to go. So, number one, I'm very grateful to have the environment that I have right now with just waking up, really getting a fresh 8 hours of sleep, waking up ready to work, ready to take on the day, eating a nutritious meal, training, working, really doing things for myself, reading, spending time out in nature, and focusing hard on my relationships, the people that I converse with on the daily, making sure that I'm being intentional about it and not just go with the flow. Number two, I am grateful for the healthy foods that I have. I'm grateful for a healthy and willing and able body to be able to go to the gym and work hard. I'm thankful for my mom who helps me get through so much. Her words of encouragement truly get me through any life obstacle that I go through. Was that three? Yeah. Number four, movement. I am very excited to wake up every single day and get outside for a walk. This is amazing. I'm grateful for God and His plans and His visions for me. And I'm grateful for His voice, Him talking to me and giving me guidance on where to go and just to be patient with time. I'm grateful for all of the opportunities that I've had recently to grow and get better. And I'm grateful for a good hairdo. Got my hair done today. I think that's something that I should be grateful for. Not everyone can do that, have their hair how they want it, and I fortunately do have good blonde hair now that's very fresh. I'm also thankful for what else am I thankful for today? The amount of people that I've been able to talk to today and communicate with them my passion and get them excited has really been a blessing today that I'm grateful for. Grateful for a good book. I just finished a good book today. The War of Art. Definitely a good kick in the ass if you're someone that's not necessarily going through a creative block. I feel like I go through a creative block every couple weeks where I'm like, ugh, like what can I do to be more creative? With just in my work, my profession, I love being creative. And I think that was a really good kick in the ass. So the next book that I'm going to read, I'm grateful for my bookshelf over here, access to my books. I'm going to read Things No One Else Can Teach Us. It's like the sequel to Unlearn by Humble the Poet. So I'm going to read it next. I'm super excited. I love the self-help books, especially starting my day with those. I think those are amazing. Oh, another thing that I'm thankful for. Last week, I was kind of sick if you tuned into the last episode, and I focused on just resting, recovering, and I ate lots of soup. I made homemade soup, chicken noodle soup, not like the creamy chicken noodle soup, just the broth, the noodles, which I just did the gluten free kind, and I just boiled them up. And I did not bone broth, chicken broth, celery, carrots, chicken, and it was so good. I loved that. And then on Friday, I got a wild hair to bake, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna bake cookies. And so now I think every Friday it's gonna be a tradition for me to bake for my family, my boyfriend, whatever it may be. So I'm grateful for all that. I was really grateful for the sweets. I had a huge sweet tooth last week, and I just followed that intuition. So, yeah, but let's jump into today's episode. Today, I want to talk about staying true to your words, following through with what you say. So, how often do we say things we don't fully commit to? I can count on a number of times someone, this is very small, minuscule, but someone has reached out to me on Messenger and they're like, hey, I'm doing this, I need your help. Could you help me? And I'm like, yeah, totally, I'll keep an eye out. And then the next day, I forget. And it goes on. And I've just completely forgotten because it's not of importance to me, I guess you could say. Not super important that it's like fresh on my brain. So I think that the things that you do when you are trying to quote unquote stick to your word, these things have to be crucial and important in your current life, or it's hard to commit to those goals. And that's what I think it means to truly stand by your words, is to do what you say you're going to do. I don't want you to tell me you're going to do something. I want you to show me by your actions. And I've always been this way. I'm just thinking back of to when a time I practiced this, and I was so young. I think I was 5. My mom vividly remembers this memory. I kind of do, kind of don't, but I think this was like probably a core memory that I have, and I had a bad habit of sucking my thumb. It was so bad. Like, I can't explain it. And I told my mom, I've always, and ever since then, I've been a person that has been of my word, and I don't back down on it. And if I do, let me tell you right now, I beat myself up over it bad. So I told my mom and my dad, I was like, when I turn 5 years old, I'm going to stop sucking my thumb. It was like a couple months like leading up to my birthday. You know how when you're a kid and you get super excited because your birthday's coming up, you tell everyone like, "Oh, I'm gonna be 5. I'm gonna be one hand, one full hand." I still hear kids saying that today, and it's cute. It's so cute. One of my cousins actually told me that over the weekend. Oh, that's something that I need to talk about. I had a great weekend. I got to meet one of my new baby cousins and meet with my other little cousin, and she was like, I'm gonna be one whole hand. And I was like, yes. So that just kind of sparked my memory as to what I did this weekend. So grateful for family time. I was very grateful and blessed to see those family members that I don't get to see often because they were living not nearby. Now they're about 2 hours from home. So get to see them more often, and it's exciting because the more I've gotten older, the more I've grown to realize that I take family time way too much for granted, and I would love to really make that more of a priority for me. Going back to the topic of sticking to your word. So, I told my mom and dad, okay, whenever I turn 5, I'm going to stop sucking my thumb. And you know what? I did that. And I was so proud of myself. I never stuck my thumb back in my mouth again. And you can say that this is silly and you're like, oh no. But ever since that day, I've been very much a woman of my word. And I do as I say I'm going to do. Yes, I told you that I was going to do it, but my actions showed it. And I think that is the kicker. You have to be willing to do the things you say you're going to do. I don't care if you say, yes, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to start eating healthy, and then you don't. Like, you're not a woman of your words. And it's not just on the topic of health and fitness, which I know that's my big thing, but this is definitely something that you can practice in your everyday life. It's super important to have that integrity and be consistent with your word. So, I'm just going to talk a little bit about understanding the importance of your words. So, how much your words actually have impact. Words are very, very powerful and they can shape perceptions, relationships, and opportunities. So, the impact of what we say directly reflects our reputation and self identity. And what I mean by this is whenever you say you're going to do something and you don't follow through with it, this looks bad on you. And going back to what I say all the time, we can't think about what others think of us to an extent. Now, when it comes to doing what you say you're going to do, speaking your word, holding yourself accountable to doing those things, you have to do that. And if you don't do that for someone, they're losing trust in you. Okay? Say, take an example for me and my clients, for example. If I told them, hey, I'm going to work on this and do this later tonight, and I don't do that, then that just shows that I am not a trustworthy person. Now, here's a different scenario. If I told them that and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really cannot get this done today, communicate that with them. You have to communicate those things. And just by you saying you're going to do it and not actually delivering it, that just shows that you are not capable and you're wishy-washy. You're faulty of your word. And to someone else that looks very unprofessional. It looks very much like you don't know what you're doing and you can't commit to something and follow through. And I think that's something that has always frustrated me is when people say they're going to do this, say they want to do this, and I want to go to the gym, I want to lose 5 pounds, I want to do this to do that, and I want to do that, but no actions that they've done align with what they say. And that's super frustrating. But you have to know that there also comes consequences with this. If you do not follow through on your commitments, you are, like I said, you're breaking trust, which is hurting your relationships. If you say to your significant other, I'm going to come support you on this and I'm going to be there for you, and then you just don't do it, that's just so flaky and it turns your relationship very much toxic, your friendship toxic. You have to be able to commit to your word. And same goes with opportunities. If someone asks you, hey, I have an idea for you, let's go out and do this, let's talk, and you're like, okay, yeah, sounds good, but then and you want to do it, like I'm very gung-ho on, I want to go eat breakfast with so and so, they're going to help me with my goal of XYZ. And you're like, yeah, let's do it. But you never follow through and take action on that. Even when life gets crazy, you have to be able to take action on it or you're missing out on so many opportunities. And this could go within the your job too, your health and fitness realm. If you say you want to reach X amount of clients by this time, but yet you aren't doing any of the little things to help get you there. You're not reaching out, you're not marketing yourself, you're not doing your testimonials, you're not helping the current people that you have and growing what you have, then you can't expect that to happen. So you've got to be able to put your words into action. And not only does it affect your relationships, but it also affects your own self esteem. If you cannot show up and do the things that you are set out to do, it literally kills your mood, kills your self esteem, everything. Every day I write out a to do list, and sometimes I get a little hefty with it. I'm like, okay, girl, back off. Like, you cannot get that much done in a day. And yes, I'm writing it out. That's my way of saying I'm going to do it. But I actually have to put it into action. And when I don't, it just kills my day, literally ruins my day. And so that's another thing, too, is don't overcommit. Don't tell yourself that you're going to do all of these things and then not follow through with them. Start small with the things that you say you're going to do. Not everything has to be big and bold and prosperous. Like, it can be something small. But also, whenever you do tell someone you're going to do something, mean it. And if you don't follow through with it, you need to communicate that with them. So, things that can get in the way of staying true to your words, which I just mentioned, is over committing. You have to stop saying yes to every single thing that gets asked of you. It's okay to say no when you're in this instance of having someone over here say, yes, we have this going on, and yes, we have this going on. You're like, okay, I'm going to do both. But then you don't, because you've overcommitted. You have your hands in too many baskets, and you're not able to just do one thing. This, if you're overcommitting, you're not delivering your best potential. So you need to realize your limits and set realistic expectations for yourself. I know this can be hard because we think we can do everything. We think that we have the capability to hang out with this person today, but also hang out with this person today, but also get this done, but also get my nails done, but also get my hair done. And I was experiencing this today. Yesterday, I was like, oh, I'm gonna podcast today. Didn't make time for it, which is super frustrating. And today, I was about to tell myself that I didn't have time for this today, which is completely and utterly, utterly wrong because I have time to do it. It was a matter of resisting that urge to, okay, go lay on the couch or come and do this, which I know that was something that I needed to get done. You have to be able to prioritize the things that make sense to you. Next thing, the fear of letting others down, it could also be a reason for why you don't stay true to your words, because you want to do this thing over here, and but you're just not totally sure if you can do that, but you don't want to let them down, so you're like, okay, I'll do it. Or I'll say I'll do it, but then when it comes time to actually do it, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this, I don't want to do this, and I'm scared I'm going to let them down, but I just can't do it. And so you're scared of disappointing other people, when instead you could just be like, hey, you know what, I cannot do this right now, and I'm sorry, but I could maybe try another time, or maybe ask this person, or just get the load off you. If it's something you truly can't handle, you need to say that. Another big thing, your priorities. You know, whenever you are committing to things, you have to think of, what do I need to get done first? What can I do for myself first before I go out of my way and try to help others, or say I'm going to help others, when in reality I truly can't even get my shiz done. So keeping that in mind too. And then also the external pressures from other people and society. So thinking like, I'm just trying to think of a societal norm that's normal. I have to go eat dinner with my family on this night because this is just something that everybody does and I need to do it. And you say you're going to do it, and then the time comes and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I think I need to do this because, my family is pressuring me to do this, but I really don't want to do it. And I know I've already said that I'm going to eat my meal at home tonight because I'm on this fat loss journey and I need to stay home. and tomorrow night it was my play night to go out to eat to dinner, and I don't want to go out to eat to dinner 2 nights in a row. And it's like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Communicate, but don't let the pressure of other people and the societal norms of having to eat out multiple times in a weekend to weigh you down, especially if they're not with your true intentions. And you just have to tell your people, like, don't tell them you're going to do it if you really don't want to do it. Stay true to your word, what you have envisioned for yourself. So, that is my little aspect on the challenges. Some challenges that you could face when staying true to your words gets hard. Okay, now here are some strategies that we're going to go over for staying true to your word. Number one, think before you speak. Okay, this is something I'm actually fairly good at, is whenever someone's talking to me about things, I usually don't respond right that instant. I have to think about it, and I say that straight up. I'm like, "Yeah, let me think about it and I'll get back to you." And that's something that I always do. But that goes along too with, like, if you say, "Let me think about it and get back to you," you're saying that you're going to get back with them. So you still have to get back with them, even if it may not be what they want. The next one is set clear boundaries. You can say no. I think a lot of us think that we need to say yes to everything because, like I said, we don't want to make other people feel bad and we don't want to let them down. But it's okay to say no right now, not right now, whenever necessary. Follow through with action. This is obviously the biggest component. Make sure that your words align with your actions. Make sure that you set reminders. This would be a huge one. If you have a task or something coming up that you need to meet that you said that you were going to do, set a reminder, set a timeline for it. You if you have it in your sight, in your vision, you're going to be able to remind yourself, okay, I've got to do this. Next one, be honest and transparent. You have to be honest with people. Tell them your true feelings, how you're truly feeling, and communicate that with them. You tell them, like, hey, I really cannot do this right now, and it may suck, but I'd rather you tell them that you can't do it than to break a promise. I'm very big on promises. I love promises. And you may not be big on that, but I am. So make sure that you're communicating. And if you need to, like, negotiate time or something so that you're able to still get it done, then do that. Biggest piece here is accountability. Hold yourself accountable. You have to be able to stay on track with what you say you're going to do. I know I keep saying that. I know that's just going to keep getting in your mind, but if you don't do something, like, you should be mad at yourself, okay? Hold yourself accountable and tell yourself, I'm not going to do that ever again. Or using like a journal or app or having an actual accountability partner, a coach, me, to help you, like, stay on that track of doing what you said you were going to do for yourself. Whether that be, I said I'm going to lose 10 pounds, but I need that extra accountability. If that's all I need to get me going, then that's what I need. But at least I'm staying true to my word and my action. So, with all that being said, the benefits of staying true to your words, we're going to go over a couple of those. The personal growth that you develop by constantly showing up for yourself and doing what you say you're going to do, you're building discipline, you're building confidence, and your integrity. You're building up a good reputation that people want to follow you and be around you and know that you're a human being that's capable and true with their word. Another one, your relationships are going to be so much stronger. That deep respect and trust that you're going to gain from your friendships, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever it is, and your professional relationships, those people that you work with, your boss, your mentors, whatever it is, you're going to have that strong rooted connection. I know I already mentioned this, but your reputation, you'll be seen as someone that honors their commitments and lead to more opportunities and success within your everyday life, no matter what it is, whether it's, in your job or just as a friendship or whatever it may be, more opportunities are going to become available to you. And then I think this one is huge. I think the biggest thing is you just feel so good, so peaceful whenever you do say the things that you're going to do, whenever you do stay true to your word. And I think this is the biggest thing because you're shaping your own values and you're you're just at overall peace with yourself because you know that you've said you've said, "Hey, I'm going to do this," and you've stuck to it, and I think that's amazing. So, to wrap everything up, staying true to your word is super important. Actions speak louder than words. And this is something that my dad lived by, and he was such a man of his words. And I think I truly carry that over into my everyday life. So I want you to just think about your current commitments that you have and think on, are these helping me? Am I actually staying true to them? Am I giving my fullest potential to them? Or am I just saying I'm going to do it, but not actually putting it into action? And I can think of a couple of things for myself just within my professional life of things that I say that I want to accomplish, but my actions aren't lining up with that. And so, what you can do is sit down and write your goals out. Make it very clear on what you're trying to accomplish, like very, very specific goals, and get out your planner and write exactly what you're going to do. But make sure you're not overdoing it. Make sure that it aligns and it makes sense with you. Um, yes, that's all I have for you today, guys. I hope you found this episode to be helpful, inspirational, and just remember that your actions speak louder than words. And just keep that in the back of your head at all time. But I hope you all enjoyed this episode and found it helpful for you. And please share with a friend, share on Instagram, stories, give me a review, whatever it may be. I'm slowly starting to get better at this, and I hope that you guys are enjoying these episodes and the thought that I'm putting into them to make sure that they're structured and aligning with the point that I'm trying to get across here. So, as always, appreciate any feedback that you have and any questions. Feel free to DM me on Instagram at heart to heart pod, heart.to.heart.pod, or my Health with Hats Instagram for any coaching inquiries. People looking to better their health, DM me on health.with.hads on Instagram. You can find me there. But I really hope you all enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.